Okay, in lesson 8 has to do with building intervals. And the interval is the distance between notes. What we're talking about, if we're looking at a keyboard, for example, from this note, which is a G, up to a C, that's the interval of a perfect fourth. So what we want to do is find out how to build a perfect fourth or a major second or whatever is asked. And it happens to be on assignment 8.1, number 1. It's asked you to name the note that would be a major second above the given note. So what you're doing is, first of all, always checking the clef sign over here. And this happens to be in bass clef. So you're going to be naming notes in the bass clef. That will make a difference. If you start trying to name notes in the treble clef or build intervals in the treble clef, and the note that's asked is in the bass clef, then that's going to make a difference. So you always want to check that. So in this one, the first note that's listed there is a B flat, and it asks you to find the major second above the given note, which is B flat. So it says there that you can't insert the note on a Word document. So what you're going to do is just type out the name of the note underneath it. Now, I'm going to back up so that I can help you with finding the basic interval. Whenever an assignment asks you, again, to find like for example on this one, a major second above, or let's see here if I can find another one. The next one would be to find a major third above. That is a precise interval. What I want you to do first is be able to find a basic interval. So that's what we're going to work with kind of right now. I'm going to start with this note, which is a C. It really doesn't matter on the keyboard. I always suggest that you use the keyboard whenever you're trying to do an assignment. It's very helpful, but it doesn't matter if you use the C in this octave or you use this C. That's really kind of irrelevant. But I'm going to say, just for being easy and not getting complicated, that we're going to start out with a C. For example, if the given note was a C, which it is right here, and the exercise asked you to find a note that is they could say major third, perfect fourth, minor seventh, whatever they ask you to do. It's very simple to find the basic interval, and this is what you're going to be doing. If we start on C, which is what I just did, I started on a C, and I'm going to say they're going to ask for a minor third above C. That's what the exercise is going to ask. So I'm looking at the C here, and the way I do it is to go ahead and write out the whole musical alphabet. Makes it easier if you have it there, and you can use it just like I'm using it now. The whole musical alphabet. And then what I do is number, starting with number 1 on the note that I am starting with, which is the C. So C would be number 1. I'm going to put all these in, and then I'll bring it up. I'll show you. D will be number 2. E 3, F 4, 5, G, A will be 6, B will be 7, and then we'll be back to the C, which will be 8. That gives us something to work with. And if I started on a C, and it is the first degree that I'm working with, and the exercise has asked me to find a minor third, major third, whatever it is, doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to find the basic interval, and all I'm going to do is look for where the 3 is for the third. That note is an E. So this tells me that whatever note I'm going to be naming has to be an E, because I'm looking for a minor, say a minor third. So the basic third is E. That's the first answer you're looking for. And some other people have joined here. So I'm going to kind of wait for 1 second because Carrie hasn't got her connection up yet. Who is that? Stephanie? Stephanie, can you hear me? Okay, Carrie, are you hearing me at this point? Okay, let me just find out. Carrie, are you going to use the microphone? You can key the mic and talk to me if you are. I could hear you if you have a microphone. Okay, can you key the mic? Let's see if I can hear you. Okay. Stephanie, are you going to use a microphone tonight? Can you type? If you're not, can you just type over into the text box and tell me you're not? I think it's Stephanie. I'm not sure. It's sorry, S Farmer. Is that Stephanie? Maybe that's not who I'm talking to. I'm just going to back up here to kind of get everybody on board. Hold on 1 second. I'll just kind of be starting this over quickly, but let me see this. If you can hear me, go ahead and put a check mark into the box there. Great. Okay. Now, since I don't have my class list or anything, my brain is not computing at the moment. But who is S Farmer? What's the first name so I know? If you could type that into the text box over on the left, that would be helpful to me. Ladina, there should be a spot there where you can, there should be an X and a check. I thought you checked that a little while ago, but there should be an X, a check, a raised hand. You see here, here's the check, here's the X, here's the raised hand, here's the smiley face that puts emoticons up there. Okay, so I've got a couple of people that can hear. Carrie, do you have your microphone on yet? Well, it depends. Yeah, if you press talk, that should work, I think. It depends on your mic or your computer, but okay, so I'm not hearing anybody tonight. Some way or other, you're going to have to key the mic, and I'm not really sure how that's going to work for you, but at any rate, I'm going to keep going here. You can go ahead and use the text box if you have a question. Well, Dina, I know you can hear me because you're talking to me. You still didn't find the. You need to be able to find where the check is. You see there where I'm going to circle it this time. There's a check. There's an X. There's a hand, and there's a smiley face down there at the bottom. So if you click on the check, that's going to tell me that you can hear me at this point. Okay, so if you found it, go ahead and click on the check so I know, because that's going to visually show me that you can hear me. So go ahead and click on that, Ladina. Okay, but that's the X. So if you put the X, that means you can't hear me. But I know you can hear me. There you go. Great. Okay. So I've got 3 people that can hear me, and I am not hearing anybody. So I guess I'm going to be the only one doing the talking. So whenever you have a question, you can go ahead and do the hand raise. And then what you're going to have to do is use the text box. So if I can't hear you, Carrie, I don't know. I'm really not sure about how I can help you to get that going, but you can use the text box at any rate. Okay, so I started off with Lesson 8 saying that what we're trying to do in the very beginning of this is get you to be able to find a basic interval. That's what we want to do first, find a basic interval. So we're trying to find the distance between notes from F to A. I happen to know that already, that that's a major third. Or from C to D, that's a major second, or whatever it is. But you are going to want to find the basic interval first. So that's what we were working on when the rest of you signed on. Okay, so this is what I do. I write out the musical alphabet just like this. I write it out. And if the note that is given for you to start with, for example, would be, let's just say it's a G. If it would be a G, that's the note you're going to start with. That's the given note. Then some way I'm going to indicate that I'm going to start with this G. And G is going to be number 1. Now, I did this before, but let me just put these up here. And I use the list of the note names, and I also use the numbers. That's how I would go about finding out. So the given note is G. We're going to find an interval from G. Let's say that the exercise is asking you to find a major third. At this point, we don't really care if it's a major third, a minor third, an augmented third, or anything else. What we want to do is find out what note puts us into any kind of a third, or the basic third. So all I need up there are just regular note names, no sharps or flats involved. I need to put the numbers that correspond. I already told you that the given note is a G. So if the given note is a G and I want to find a third of any kind, I know that that note is going to have to be a B. Whatever it is, I'm going to have to name it as a B. So the basic third, and in the exercises, I always do above. I do not have you do intervals that go below. So it's always going to be an interval that goes above. The basic third from G will be B. I'm going to do a couple of these, and let's see here. Farmer Do you have a question? Can you type it out if you do? Or Ladina, if you have a question, you have your hand raised over there, so you can go ahead and type out the question at any time. The hand raising is usually for if you want to speak into the microphone so that you're not stepping on people. So if you have questions and you're just going to use the text box, you can just go ahead and type it in at any time. Okay, so I'm going to do another one of these. Let's say that the note that is given is a C. And the exercise is going to ask you for a perfect fourth above C. Again, now WIMBA is not perfect, and WIMBA was not made for music, so you have to just kind of bear with me as I type things in here and then use them, put them up on the screen, because it's a little hard to maneuver everything since it's not really made for music. Okay, so the given note is C, and the exercise is going to ask for a minor sixth above C. Do I care if it's A flat, A sharp, A whatever now? I don't really care right now, because what I want to do is just find out that a sixth above C is an A. And then in a couple of minutes, I'm going to worry about if I need to put a sharp on it or a flat or anything like that. Right now, all I'm interested in is what we are calling the basic interval. The basic interval is what I'm doing. I'm going to do a couple of these again. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can do it like this a little easier. The given note is an E. In fact, I'm going to let you type out the answer for me. The given note is an E, and I'll type these in for you down here. But you're going to help me figure this out. So the given note's an E. And I want you to tell me which note is a sixth above E. You can type that into the text box for me. What note is a sixth above E? This is the basic interval of a sixth. I have one answer. Carrie, can you go ahead? Are you still on? Can you use the text box? Or are you kind of discombobulated there trying to fix the microphone? Carrie Pullen, can you use the text box? Oh, okay. Okay. But you can see the screen now, Carrie? Okay. I just asked, did you get in on this about how to find the basic interval? What I'm asking is, I'm giving the beginning note as E, and I want to find out what the basic interval of a sixth is above E. So I have the alphabet written out, the musical alphabet written out. I put 1 on E, and then I'm going upward in the alphabet with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 upward. Could go as far as high as I want with numbers. But I'm asking what a basic sixth above E is, and it is a C. So let's let her look at a couple of these. Here we go. Let's say the given note is a B, and I'm not going to put the numbers in this time. I'd like for you to figure out what a fourth above B is, the basic note, basic interval of a fourth above B. Very good. It is an E. Okay, so this is really simple. This is how you find the basic interval. All the exercises in Lesson 8, however, you have to find precise intervals. If you can find the basic interval and you can figure out the keyboard, you should have this down. So now I'm going to go to assignment 8.1. And I started talking about this when other people weren't on here. But first of all, you always have to get into the habit of checking out the clef sign. If you start naming notes in the wrong clef, then it's going to be incorrect. So this is in bass clef, and you're going to have to obviously be able to name the given note. Now the given note here is a B flat. Whoops. You'll hear me say whoops here when I make mistakes. But okay, so the given note is a B flat. I don't really care right now if it has a flat on it or not, because my job in the beginning is to find the basic interval. Now, the instructions here say name the note that would be a major second above the given note. It's always above. I don't have you construct intervals below the beginning note, so it's always above the note. All right, so we just did a basic interval. And the way I did it was I started out with a note, which in this case is B. Okay, I named the musical alphabet going upward, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and you can just have A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You don't have to start it on B. I'm starting it there, but if I already had like just a list there, I wouldn't bother doing it each time. I just have to do that the way this thing erases. Okay, so B is going to be your beginning note. We're looking for the basic interval right now. B is the beginning note. Just 1 second here. I have to position this. And I'm not going to bother putting any more on here because I know that all we need is a second here. So to find the basic second above B, or B flat, which was given, what is that going to be? Season. Okay, great, great, great. What's going to be a basic second above B, or B flat? You don't even have to say the flat at this point. You want to go ahead and type that in for me? A basic second above B, or B flat. No. If you're starting on B, what is the second above B? It has to be above B. It can't be a B. There you go. Okay, so the second is a C. It's kind of confusing because I'm talking to people that you don't know who I'm talking to at this point because people aren't talking back to me. But okay, so the basic interval, or the basic note of this interval, is going to be a C. Now, this is where I have to use my book. It's really simple. You're going to use your textbook. There's a couple of different ways. You don't have to use a textbook, but I suggest doing that. So what I want to know is, how many half steps does it take to make a major second? And I'm going to find here, I'm looking for a different, hold on 1 second while I find this. On page, I believe it's 129 in your textbook, but let me make sure. Yeah, on page 129 in your textbook is a whole list of all different kinds of intervals. And I'm trying to find this. Here we go. It looks like this. This is the first half of the page there on page 129 in your textbook. Okay, so I'm going to go to page 129 in the textbook. And what asked, what was asked back here? What did I ask you on 8.1? Oh, that's the wrong one. Let me go back. A major second above the B flat. Okay? Look on the chart on page 129, and someplace there you're going to find something that says a capital M, because we use capital M's for major. And then you're going to find the second. And this is kind of blurry, but I think it's going to be on this one here if I can find it. Right. Okay. So I'm looking for a major second. Here it is over here. See where it says major second, M2, major second? And then I go over here where it tells me how many half steps. Here's the half steps. And it says for me 2 half steps. 2 half steps. That's all I need to know at this point. Forget that this says a G, but we are starting out on a B flat, which is right here. That note is B flat. Use your keyboard. If I were to write that note, I could write it here and then put the flat sign with it. That would be a B flat. Okay, so 2 half steps. Starting on B flat. Hold on. Well, I can get this going. Here's B flat. B flat to this note is 1 half step, and 1 more half step, I end up there. What is that note? It is a C. It's definitely a C. Now, do I have to put a sharp or a flat by that at all? No, that's a regular C there. It doesn't need a sharp, doesn't need a flat. So I'm going to go back over here to this other slide here. Let me find it here. Okay, so we started off with the B flat right here, and it asks for a major second, and we found out that a major second above B flat is C. Whoa, that's kind of a crazy C, but that is a C. So it's a C. Now, we found out also in the beginning that the basic interval of a second above B flat C, so there's nothing that you need to change there. Is everybody with me on this? It just takes me a while because of this WIMBA thing. You don't have to make any change at all. The interval is above. That's a B flat, and the answer is C. And C is above B flat. Here is B flat, and here is C. And that's a major second above the B flat. Okay? Let's do a couple of these here. Let me see if I can just do it quickly. The problem is that, does everybody have their textbook? Because you can look it up. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to bother going back to that page. You can look on the page. That makes it easier. Let me put up the musical alphabet here. This is what I would do if I were going to do these exercises. Okay? So I have the musical alphabet. Now, the numbers are going to change as far as whatever I'm going to use, whatever note I'm going to start with. So let's do it this way. Let's say the starting note is a regular A. There's an A. Okay? So there's the starting note of A. I'm going to put number 1 on A. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask you to find, let's see here. How about if you find the basic interval of a fifth above A? We're going to be looking here for, let's say we're going to look for, let's make it a difficult one. How about an augmented fifth? But what is the basic fifth above A? This is where you have to know what the basic interval is, or you'll end up naming it wrong. So the basic fifth above A is what note? It's an E. It is an E. Okay. So the basic fifth is an E. Okay, look on your chart. We don't want a basic fifth. We want to find out what an augmented fifth is. Look on your chart and find out how many half steps are an augmented fifth. And we're going to do this above. Okay, great. That's right, it's 8. On the chart there it says AG8, augmented fifth is 8 half steps. We're going to find it together here. It's very easy. If you just do this the same way every time, it's pretty easy. You use the keyboard, though. If you don't use the keyboard, you'll get messed up. You can use a regular keyboard that's in front of you, or you can use a replica like I'm doing right now. Okay, so what I want to do is find 8 half steps. I'm starting right here on the A. A. I'm not going to even say these notes because I don't really care what they are. A to this note is 1 half step. To this note, 2 half steps, 3 half steps, 4 half steps, 5 half steps, 6 half steps, 7 half steps, 8 half steps. Well, if I were looking at that, I would go, that is not an E. If I were looking at that on the keyboard, I would say, that's an F. But can I name a fifth? Here's the question. Can I name a fifth, an augmented fifth, as an F? No, I can't, because anything that is an F above A has to be a sixth. So I have to use my knowledge of enharmonics, and I have to rename this note right here. This all, when I'm trying to do this on WIMBA, it takes a long time and it sounds complicated and it kind of gets all, my word is discombobulated tonight, I guess, but it's really not that hard. So here, it has to be named as an E, this note right here. How can I name that note as an E? Well, I can name it as an E because I can use enharmonic namings, and we had an exercise on that. We had a whole lesson on, not a lesson, but a whole assignment on that. Here's E. I'm going to name this note right here as E sharp. Does that make sense to you? So I've named it as an E. I know that it's 8 half steps above the A, and I named it as E sharp. So the answer of what is an augmented fifth above A, my answer is going to be E sharp. Does that make sense? If that makes sense, give me a check mark from everybody. Great. Okay. Uh, let's do a couple more. Now, the more you do it, the easier it is. Let the textbook be your friend. This textbook, there are things wrong with it, but there are things that are good with it too. And one thing are these charts. And you don't have to be a musical genius. I mean, you just have to look up things in the book sometimes. So let's do another. I'm going to start out. I should have done it a different way of erasing, but I didn't. So I'm going to have to put this alphabet back down here again. There we go. Oh, it's red now. Great. Okay, let's try another one. This time I'm not going to do an augmented, but I'm going to start on a different note. I'm going to start on this note. I'm going to start on F sharp. Now, at this point, do I really care that it's an F sharp? Probably not. Okay, so I want you to find, let's see, what would be a good one here? How about a perfect fifth above F sharp? First of all, what am I going to do? I'm going to find out the basic fifth. The basic fifth above F, first of all, is going to be A, C. So whatever I name, I have to name it as a C. Okay, so I said I want it to be a perfect fifth. I go to page 129, I look up perfect fifth. There it is, over on the left side. A perfect fifth has 7 half steps. I am starting right here on F sharp. F sharp to this note, 1 half step, 2 half steps, 3 half steps, 4, 5, 6, 7 half steps. This has to be named as a C. This note right here has to be named as a C, and that's really an easy one. How do I name that note as a C? Here's C right here on the keyboard. Remember, we're asking for a perfect fifth. It has to be named as a C. This is the note we landed on. Okay, I have one correct answer. How do I name this note right here as some kind of a C? It is a C sharp. So, the given note was F sharp. That's where I started, right here. I traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I ended up there. I named that note as a C, and I come up with the answer of C sharp. So a perfect fifth above F sharp is C sharp. Now, Carrie, you were right. Okay. That one was quicker than the last one, correct? The more you do it, the easier it is. Now, really, I'm going through all of these 8.1, 8.2, 8. Whatever's, because this is what you have to do in all of them. Now, a couple of them here you go backwards, and I'm going to show you how to do that. They're going to give you the notes, and then you have to figure it out, and that's pretty simple too. So let's do, let me see if I can do this without erasing it. Oh, I did it again. That wasn't too smart. Okay, and I don't really want those. Here we go. Let's go back to black letters. Okay, I've got the musical alphabet yet again. There is a way for me to erase only a part of this, but I'm not smart enough to do it tonight, I guess. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's good. Okay. Here we go. How about one of you pick a note there? Carrie, pick a note. Give me a note name. You can have a sharp note or a flat note or a regular note. Just tell me one. Okay, she says D flat. Let's try starting on a D flat. I'm going to put number 1 on D. Do I care? Do I have to put D flat there? No, I don't have to do that. Now, there are intervals called compound intervals that go up past an eighth. I do not do that in this class, so that's why I only go up to an eighth. All right, so she said D flat. We're going to start on a D flat. Now let me just show you where D flat would be. Let's do this one down here. Here's D flat right here. Okay, now someone pick an interval, the name of an interval. It can be any interval you want there. I'm looking at minor second, major second, diminished third, augmented second, augmented fourth, minor sixth. How about Ladina? You want to pick an interval? Okay, we're going to do a minor third, she says. Okay, a minor third. The first thing I'm going to figure out is what is the basic third above D, any D. The basic third is some kind of an F. I have to name the note as some kind of an F. I know that because that's why I just did this little chart and all of that. Okay, so she said minor third. Look on the chart on page 129, handy dandy chart. Minor third says 3 half steps. Starting on this note, whoa, I don't like that color there. Let me do a different color. Ooh, none of these are doing too good here. There we go. Okay, starting on the D flat to this note is 1 half step, 2 half steps, 3 half steps. What note is that? Ladina says it's an E. It is an E, but for it to be, look over here, Ladina, look at this chart. For it to be a minor third, I can't name it as an E. I have to name it as an F. How do I name this note as an F? Yay. You are absolutely correct. It is F flat. Here's an F right here. This note is an F. And a half step below, going to the left there, is flat's the note. So that again, you have to use those enharmonics. So half step below there is called F flat. This note right here is called F flat. Remember how we did that in our other exercise there? That note can be named F flat. It can be named E, and it also can be named D double sharp. For our purposes, though, we have to name it as an F, so it's an F flat. Great. Okay. Let's do one more. I'm going to erase this the right way this time, so I don't have to do all of this over. Watch this. I actually remembered it only took me about 5 times. Okay, here we go. Someone want to pick a note to start with? Okay, Carrie, you want to pick one again? It works out. You pick the note, and Ladina can pick the interval. Okay. Gary says we're going to start on E sharp this time. Now, this is one of those that can be a little weird because here it is. This is E sharp. Now, normally when we look at that note, if you're just looking at it for kicks, usually say it's an F, but she wanted to name it as an E sharp. So that's what we're calling it. That's what we're starting with. E sharp. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put number 1 here for E. Okay, Ladina, you pick an interval for us. Ladina says a perfect fourth. Okay. The basic fourth, I'm going to find the basic fourth, and the basic fourth has to be an A. There it is. Okay, look on the chart. Perfect fourth says, there it is on the right side, it has to be 5 half steps. So we're starting on E right here. Sorry, E sharp. I made a mistake. E sharp, E sharp. Okay, there's E sharp. Let's count half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 half steps. There's the note you landed on. We have to name it as an A. Is that right? Is that what we're doing? A perfect fourth? That's not right. Yeah. We have to name it as an A. How do you name this note as an A? You name it as A sharp. Are you with me there? So, from E sharp, whoops, to A sharp is a perfect fourth. Good. Okay, do you think you got this down pretty much now, how to figure out how to name these intervals? Carrie, what do you think? Yes? Okay. And what about you, Ladina? Now, don't get confused when they give you, instead of just giving you the name of the note like we're doing here, the exercises are going to give you the note on the staff. Let me find it. Yeah. So here's 8.1. And if you follow the directions almost always, okay, I'm just reading Ladina. I got lost because of the sharp. I thought it should be A flat. Well, I can't go back to that slide now. It's already erased off of there. Yeah. So be sure you always name it. That's why you go for that basic interval first. You know that you have to name it as whatever that basic interval is first. Okay. All right, so looking at 8.1, what I was going to say is almost every exercise you only have to do partial lines on these. So I think this one only asks you to do the first 3. So all you have to do is A, B, and C. So it gives you the note. There's the beginning note. Again, always, always, always check out the clef sign. This one happens to be in bass clef. I've had people turning in this assignment this week that have been naming this in treble clef. It changes it if you name it in treble clef, so you got to be careful. So you're starting out with B flat, and it asks you to do a major second. So you're going to be figuring it out. First of all, you figure out the basic interval. Then you go to your chart. Right there it says major second. It's 2 half steps. And then all you have to do is write or type in on the assignment the answer there. So I believe on 8.1, all you have to do is 3 of these, A, B, and C. Okay, here's, let's see, here's 8.2. This is, I think this is the right one. You do a major third. You're asking for a major third. So in a way, this is easier because you're going to do 3 that are the same. Major third is 4 half steps. This one is in treble clef. And I believe also you just have to do A, B, or C. So you are finding a major third above G, above A and above D. Find basic interval first. Do that little chart like I do it. Go over to the chart on page 129. Get a keyboard, count the half steps, and you are set with those. Okay, I just want to look through this assignment here. Now, there's another way this goes about it, I think. Let me just figure that out, and then I'll let you guys go. Now I'll let you ask some questions here if you need to. Yeah, 8.2 is okay, on 8.2, that's a different 8.2, I guess, whatever. No, that's right. Okay, 8.1, number 1, you find major seconds. Number 2, you find major thirds. And number 3, you find perfect fourths. On assignment 8.2, you find perfect fifths, major sixths, and major sevenths. On 8.3, it's a little bit different. No, actually it's not. It's the same thing. They just give you, it's one measure apiece. And let me see if I have those other assignments. Hold on one second here. No, I don't have it scanned into here. But anyway, on 8.3, it just has one measure, and it says you add the note of what a perfect fifth is above a note, and we'll just do one of these right now. Let's see here. The actual assignment is in bass clef, but this is for 8.3. Let's do a couple of these. I'll help you with that. If you're looking at the assignment, you'll see what it is. 8.3. Okay. On 8.3, they're using bass clef, but I'm going to use treble clef. So what it does on 8.3 is it gives an A, actually. So it gives you that note, and it says, complete the following intervals by adding a note above the given note. Whoa, I don't want to do that. Okay, so it says to do a perfect fifth above the note that's given. Now, you say, okay, how am I going to do that? Well, this is super duper easy because how do you write the line or space? I'm not sure what your question is, Latina. Ask it a different way. Maybe I can help you there. The note that's given is an A, and it asks you to do a perfect fifth above it. So what you want to do is, again, you're going to find out what a fifth above A is. I'm not going to write out the chart and go back. On the last assignment, it said not the line or the space. On the last assignment, it said to not the line or space. Note. I'm not sure. I'm confused about what you're asking me, I guess. The last assignment meaning 8.2. I'll just go back here. Still not sure. Oh, I know what you're talking about. When it asks you, it's asking, I know what you mean now. Gotcha. It says, because you can't write the note on the line or the space, all that means is when you write in the note, say if you write in B, then I'm asking you to say B third line. Actually, I don't really care if you do that or not. And I don't really count off if people don't do that. That just lets me know that you're going upward. But that's all I'm saying. If the answer was B then you would, like if it was this note right here, B, you would say third line, and that would tell me it's on there. So it's really not that important. It's really not. But I know what you're talking about now. So you can kind of like leave that out if you want. I don't really care about that. Okay, so let's see here. We're on 8. Whoops. What note were we going to start with? I forgot. I was talking so much. Yikes. It was an A. And it says a perfect fifth above that. So I'm not going to write out the thing, but what you want to do, again, is you want to find out the basic. Oh, I can't do that. Hold on. I got the wrong thing up here. You want to find the basic. Ooh, this is not good. The basic fifth. And I'm not going to write it all out there, but the basic fifth is actually A, B, C, D, E. It's an E. So you know it's got to be some kind of an E. Okay, so go over to your chart. Perfect fifth, 7 half steps. Start on A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay. No sharps and flats involved. It's an E. It's a regular E, and your answer is going to be E. Okay. Let's see. From the keyboard, do you count the basic note as 1 when? From the keyboard, do you count the basic note as 1? Yeah, you always call the starting note. Remember when I did that? The starting note is always 1. Now, there's other things where it gets a little bit confusing. It's not. But what we're doing now, the starting note is always 1. Don't let that goof you up. Okay. The next one on this one says a major 6th from B. I'm doing a couple of these. You might want to take note here because this is the assignment. It's done it, like I said, it's done in treble. It's done in bass clef, but I'm doing it in treble clef. Okay, it's the given note is a D. Ooh, I'm gonna have to use this D right here. The given note is D, and Ladina, what you're asking me, if the given note is always number 1. If I put up, I'll just do it right here. Here. Let's do this one like this. Okay, the given note is D, and D is going to always be 1. Whatever you're starting from, whatever note you're going to start from, that's what you're going to use, right? Whoops, I just messed that up. Carrie's laughing at me here. It's just I don't have many options here. Is what happens is I don't have like a lot of options to figure out to put things on here because, like I said, there's really nothing for music. I'm just improvise about what I do there. So, okay, so there's 1. Yes, Ladina. D is 1. That's what we're starting with. Okay. Making sure you count correctly. Yeah, if you get off, you count incorrectly, you are sunk. You have to start off with the given note as number 1. Okay, so this is assignment 8.3. They give you a D and they ask for a major 6. I'm looking on the chart. Major 6 is 9 half steps. I'm going to start on D. Whoops. Okay, here's the D. 9 half steps. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, I just did something I told you not to do. I told you to always find the basic interval first. So the basic 6th above D is what? 1. Whoops. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a B. Very good. Okay. Now, do I need to rename that note at all? the note I ended up on over here? Don't need to rename it, no, because it's B. So a major sixth above D is a regular old B. Don't need to change it. Okay, so that's the way those do on 8.3. It gives you a note and it asks you to figure it out. Also on 8.4 does the same thing. And on 8.4 it asks you for an augmented second, augmented fifth. That shouldn't matter to you because all you have to do is look on the chart on 129 and find the augmented, an augmented fifth is 8 half steps. And a diminished seventh is 9 half steps. So that's all you have to do. Yeah, I know it's Susan. Just can't see the name. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's 8 point. I can't even. Some of these you don't even have to do, I guess. Now, there's one other thing you have to do on this. I believe it's 8.5. Let me just show you what this one is, and this is pretty easy. It's all a variation of what's going on. It says identify the following intervals by number and quality using the abbreviations P, M, big uppercase M, lowercase m, whatever, for perfect, major, minor, diminished, or augmented. All right, so this is what 8.5 does. It's a little bit different, but it's still the Ladina. No, the exercises, the assignments do not ask for the basic interval. They ask for the precise interval. But in order for you to find the precise interval, you first need to find the basic interval. So that's why we're finding the basic interval. Okay, quickly here. This is what 8.5 does. 8.5 gives you two notes. And in this case, it gives you an A. Actually, it's an A flat, so I'm going to have to change that. Okay, so, whoa, don't do that. It's an A flat, and I've got to put a little flat sign here. Not a very good one, but it is one. An A flat and a B. It says identify the following intervals by number and quality. Okay, I know that's an A. I'm naming the notes. It's an A flat, but I don't really care about that now. It's an A and it's a B. So what does that interval have to be? It has to be some kind of a what? It has to be some kind of a second. Do you see that I'm just using like the chart, but I'm only using the part of it that's there now. A to B has to be some kind of a second. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, be careful, Ladina, though. You didn't go in order here because I'm starting out on A flat and I'm going 1/2 step, 2 half steps, 3 half steps. What kind of a second, that's what I have to do, what kind of a second has 3 half steps? Look on the chart. Yes, an augmented second. And the answer to this is, using the abbreviations, it is an augmented second. Yay, you guys are doing great. So that's 8.5. Every one of the ones on 8.5, that's what they do. I'm going to do one more here with you on 8.5. This is D on 8.5. Let me clear off this. Okay, the notes on it are, whoa, that's not a note. The notes are, second try, A and G sharp. Whoa, I keep doing that. This is like an exercise, and there you go. G sharp, sort of, kind of. Okay, it says the number and the quality. Okay. I'm going to type this one in because it's going to be too messy if I try to do the others. I'm starting with A. A's on the bottom there, right? Okay. It's from A to a G. It's actually G sharp, but we don't really care right now. Okay, so you have to name that as some kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, some kind of a 7th. That is correct. Now I'm going to count the half steps. I'm going to start on A, and I'm going to count 7 half steps. Is that what I'm going to do? Oh, no, that's not what I'm going to do. It's a 7th, so I have to go and, oh, yeah. I do have to do the half steps. I'm losing it here. Okay. From A, here we go, 7 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I doing? I'm not doing the right thing here. Somebody tell me what I'm doing. I'm messing up here. It's giving me the notes. I've got to figure it out. It's some kind of a 7th here. Let me back up. Okay, we're going to try it again. Starting with the A. And we got to go up to G sharp. 1 half step, 2 half steps, 3 half steps, 4 half steps, 5 half steps, 6 half steps, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the G sharp right there. I should have pointed that out first. 11 half steps. What kind of a 7th has 11 half steps? So you're already ahead of me. It's taken me longer than it's taken you now. Ladina, are you finding this? Okay. So a major 7th has 11 half steps. So your answer for that one is going to be M, capital M, uppercase M. It's a major 7th. Now, I've mentioned somewhere in the lessons, but I say use the abbreviations. If you use a lowercase m, that means minor 7th. You need to use the uppercase M for it to indicate major 7th. Okay, so that's what 8.5 does. It gives you the 2 notes, and you figure it out. And you figure it out first. You figure it out with the chart, then you go over on page 129. Okay. That's about all of them, I think. Of course, I don't have that one. Yeah, we're not doing 8.6. And I think that's about it for those. Okay. So, any questions on these lesson 8, finding the intervals? You're good, Ladina? Just if you're methodical and you get that, the musical alphabet out there, and you do it the same way every time, I think you'll be okay. And you check it with the chart. You can kind of double check it with page 129. Carrie, what about you? Are okay? You should look on the interval chart every time. I don't have those memorized. I don't know how many. It's different for me because I know what they are. I can look at the notes, but right off the bat, I couldn't tell you that an augmented 6th has 10 half steps. So look at the chart. Use the chart. Use the book. Look up things. I don't expect you to have all this in your memory. Most of you are novices at this, so use that chart every time. Look it up. Um, any questions, Carrie? You have any questions on any of these? Lowercase and bold print, which side? Doesn't matter which side. They're both the same. If you look at that, it's just a different order. The ones on page she's talking about on page 129. On the left side of the page, let me see, I do have that, I believe. On the left side of the page, right here, it's in the order of half steps. On the right side of the page, it's in the order of names. So here it's like 1/2 step, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, blah, blah. Over here it goes from major second, third, fourth, and fifth. It's just a different order. You see what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. A major third over on this side is 4 1/2 steps. It's the same thing over here. It's just a different way of listing it, whichever way makes it easier for you. Okay, Carrie says she thinks she has it. Season, I hope you do. And the question asks which one. It either asks you to construct the interval. It'll say a major second or a minor second. Or in the case of 8.5, it has the notes, and then you figure it out from the notes. Now, this is archived. Our conversation here, it's kind of long or whatever, but if you go to the other archive, when I went through the assignments, there's another archive there that I did a few semesters ago, and you can look at that one also. So you can go back and see how I did these. It time stamps it so you can kind of find a place in there if you know what you're looking for. Like if you're looking for the 8.3, you know I was going over. Okay? All righty. Thanks for participating. Thanks, Carrie. Thanks, Latina. You can, if you're having any trouble, you can email me. You will have until I believe it's March the 21st for lesson 8 assignments, because while you can't, you don't assign work during spring break. These actually should have been turned in on Sunday, but you can use spring break to get them done. Okay. None of the e-music series except for lesson number 2 have been closed. They're all still open. However, a week after the 21st, about the 28th, I'm closing 3, 4, and 5. They're all still open. Okay. Anything else? I'm going to stop archiving this now. You can